Hey y'all, welcome back to Math Rescue. Today's math lesson is all about flexing your algebra skills. We're diving into completing the square. Now, completing the square is really useful for two main things in algebra. One, forcing a quadratic into vertex form, and two, leveling up your algebra fluency. Seriously, this one gets really gnarly, but in the best way possible. About 80% of quadratics can be solved by factoring. And when that doesn't work, usually we just jump straight to the quadratic formula. But completing the square, that's a real algebra workout. It's a true novelty, and once you see how it works, it's actually super awesome. Let's talk about it. So we have a quadratic equation here. First thing that we're going to do is we are going to add a plank to both sides of the equation. If you're doing this with an expression, it might be a little bit of a different process, but the basic idea of how we use this planks is going to be the same. So the reason why I like to do planks is because they're a nice little reminder, a little placeholder, if you may, that something needs to fill the plank. We can legally do this because we're doing it to both sides of the equation. Now, what are we going to fill the planks with? Well, it's based on the b parameter. That's the coefficient on the x term. So let's go ahead and highlight that. So we're going to take that 18 and we're going to apply a formula to it. The formula is b divided by 2 squared. So let's see what that looks like. So b divided by 2 in our case would be 18 divided by 2. That's going to give us 9. And then the second thing that we do is we square that amount. So for us, that means we get 9 squared. And so we're going to put 81 inside of our planks. Now, the whole reason we call this completing the square is because what we're doing is we're forcing a perfect square to show up. So if I were to factor this trinomial that I just created, it would end up being x plus 9 squared. And that's the perfect square right there. We still have the minus 7. And we can clean up this right-hand side. 0 plus 81 is just going to be 81. So we've gone ahead and we've officially completed the square. Now we want to go ahead and finish the solving process for this. So to solve it, we're going to solve it using the square root property. That means we'll isolate the square. That's this parentheses here. And then from there, we'll square root property and then finish the problem. So let me first start by isolating the square. I'll add 7 to both sides. We get x plus 9 squared equals 88. From here, I'll go ahead and use the square root property. So I'll square root this side, I'll square root this side. Remember that when you use the square root property, you need to throw in a plus or minus. From here, my square and square root on the left-hand side will cancel. So I'm left with x plus 9 equals plus or minus the square root of 88. And then I'm one step away. We'll go ahead and we'll subtract 9 from both sides. And we get an exact solution. X equals negative 9 plus or minus the square root of 88. All right, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a really cool, novel way of solving quadratics. Stay tuned for more.